The following feature presentation is part of the AllForSciFi podcast network.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
I'll be back.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's a trap!
The needs of the many outweigh
The needs of the few.
for the one.
Do or do not. There is no trap.
Live long and prosper.
Get away from her, you bitch! Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Take it away.
Goodbye.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that!
I see dead people.
So what?
I'm rude.
You said that.
Why so serious?
I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute!
What I do is not up to you.
Chewie. We're home.
I'm one with the force. The force is with me. I'm one with the force, and the force is with me. I'm one with the force, and the force is with me.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the AllForSciFi podcast. I'm your host, Eric Walker, and sitting behind me is Captain Rickster.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome you to our podcast about Godzilla, the King of Monsters. We're very exciting. And today's show is being taped in Woodland Hills, California, and it's June 1st, 2019. So where did May go?
That's what I like to know myself.
Yeah, this May went by really, really quick. We are the AllForSciFi podcast network, where we talk about everything sci-fi, from movies to television to streaming on Netflix to Amazon Prime to HBO to cable networks to everything. Anything and everything sci-fi, that's what we're here to talk about. Okay, let's go ahead and begin this week's sci-fi news. Ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The biggest thing this week in sci-fi news is, of course, the Star Wars Galaxy Edge opening at Disneyland.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, so they had the actual official premiere 2 nights ago with Bob Iger. And Bob Iger, the head of Disney, was brought on stage. Billy D. Williams, he brought on stage Mark Hamill.
Harrison Ford, too.
Harrison Ford, yep. And also the father of Star Wars,
George Lucas.
He made a very rare appearance, and it was nice to see him on stage. For me, the most heartfelt moment was, I get emotional when he talked about Peter Mayhew.
Yeah, it's really bad since he's gone to a better life now.
But you know what? He said, this one's for you, Peter. So that was great. That was a great moment. So sorry about that, guys, but Peter was a good man. Okay, let me recover. Okay, also in sci-fi news, a lot of people are talking about the new Batman.
Oh yes, they are.
So there's a lot of people talking about the controversy. And do you know who the new Batman is, Captain Rickster?
Yeah, it's Robert Patterson. Oh, Peterson.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
Pattinson.
Pattinson.
That's
yeah.
a difficult name to pronounce. So
Yes,
But there's a lot of controversy going on because he's from the Twilight movies. I don't see all the controversy because, to me, I don't know if you remember back in the 80s when Michael Keaton when they announced that he was going to play Batman, everybody was in a big uproar because he was Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was this comedic actor, and everybody goes, no, how can you have this comic actor doing Batman? And now he's like the gold standard. It's like everybody wants a Michael Keaton. So
that's true.
Let's give our hats off. Let's give it a shot. I think we all need to give Robert Pattinson at least a fair shake. Let's see what he does. He is an actor, and he's been in other good movies. He's been in quite a few. I know some people don't like the Twilight movies. I thought I enjoyed them. Of course, all my nieces and nephews love the Twilight series. So
yeah, that's actually a good series. Even the books were good too to read.
They were. Also, I understand Whoopi Goldberg has put her hat in the ring, and she wants to go on a new Star Trek Picard show.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard.
What do you think about that?
Sounds pretty good. I mean, it'd be great to see her on there.
I think I kind of think it would be great because I kind of liked her character. But if they start having too many of the same characters from the Next Generation, they might as well not call it Picard and call it the Next Generation reboot. So.
That's right. Yeah. Definitely true.
So mixed emotions, but I think Whoopi Goldberg's character was great, so I think that she might make a fine addition. Also, they just announced that the new Shrek movie is now official and it's in the works.
Yes, it is.
The difference is it's not going to be a sequel. It's actually going to be more of a kind of a reboot.
Yeah.
So Universal Pictures, they're looking to create something fresh for the Shrek franchise in a way that it appeals to the new generation that's out now, the audience that's out now.
That's true. I also hear, too, that there's going to be the new First Blood coming out, too. It's been official already.
Yes, Rambo Last Blood is what it's called, and that's exciting news coming out. Also in the works in the next few weeks, sci-fi-wise movie news, we got Dark Phoenix coming out on June 7th. We have also Men in Black International coming out also in July. So this season is just great. We got a lot of sci-fi stuff coming out now and also coming up here in the future. I know that coming August 30th is the Dark Crystal. Remember the movie The Dark Crystal?
Oh, yes.
They're doing a television series on Netflix. And the Dark Crystal, what's the name of it? Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So look forward to that coming out here soon. And coming up your alley, there was a big announcement in comic book news.
Yes, there has been a new one. Marvel's bringing out Star Wars again after 32 years.
Yes.
So that's even going to be much more better. Hopefully it be the same format they had before. If not, though, I know they're going to bring out old and new characters in the new books, so that's even going to be a lot much more better.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I know comic books are up your alley, so I knew you would probably like the fact that Marvel's coming back. But they're coming back with Star Wars. How do you feel about that? Do you want to have do they have other Marvel comics out, or are they?
Well, yeah, they do have other ones. They have Iron Man came out again. Fantastic Four came out again.
All right.
There's a few other new ones that are coming out this coming month. I'll have to check on which ones they are. I'm not really sure for right this moment. But I will check on that here by the next podcast show we have.
Sure, great. Yeah, give us the update on that for sure, since you're the Captain Rickster is the comic book guru. In fact, he knows so much about comics, and I'm not going to spill the beans. He might be have one of the largest collections in the world, but that would be up to Guinness Book of World Records. But he knows everything about comic books for sure, and in fact, so much so that on the All4Sci-Fi podcast network, he's going to have his own show coming here in about a month. We're going to have Comic Mania.
Oh, yes.
Which is Captain Rickster's comic show. So look for that coming up here pretty soon. But back to the Star Wars. They're bringing back the Star Wars comics. It's been 32 years, like you had mentioned.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, they're going to start right where they left off in 1986. So
that's what I hear. Because they did up to 107 was the last one in 86.
Right. Okay.
So we'll see if they start with either 108 or just number 1. We'll have to wait and see how they come out with this one.
Yeah. Well, they said they're going to start where they left off, so I'm sure it's going to be number 108.
Well, we're hoping so.
Yeah.
Because it was actually a really good series.
Right. For sure.
I hated to see it quit.
Yeah. I know. In a timing when we could all use some more comic books to get us, to get us out of this world.
Get that right.
That's for sure. And now we're going to go ahead and bring up the reason why we're here, and that is Godzilla.
You got it.
Here's a look at the trailer.
What we are witnessing here is the return of Titans.
How many of these things are there?
17 and counting.
That's messed up.
Mothra, Rodan, Ghidorah.
Oh my. They're moving like a pack. They're hunting. They all respond directly to an alpha. We stop this Ghidorah. We stop them all.
Is there another creature that might stand a chance against him?
My God, Zilla.
Our planet will perish, and so will we. Unless we set Godzilla free.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's bring him in for a beer. No, this time we join the fight.
Run.
This is Godzilla's world. We just live in it.
Damn right.
Wow, that was Godzilla. Love it. Godzilla King of Monsters.
That's right. He is the king.
He sure is a king. Let's talk about Godzilla, everybody. And for anybody out there in Facebook land, this is the part where we're going to tell you there's going to be spoilers. But I'm not going to, try to not give away stuff. We're going to talk about the movie. And we're also going to take the time to talk about Godzilla, the history of Godzilla, because Captain Rickster wants to talk about that a little bit.
That's right.
Apparently, there's a very big history with Godzilla going back to the 1950s.
That's true.
Godzilla King of Monsters had a lot of action. It was, I really enjoyed watching the movie. There was so much action with the monsters.
That's definitely
in
true.
Godzilla
Yes.
King of Monsters that it just excited me. And for me, I didn't expect to see that much action with the monsters fighting each other.
That was the best part about the whole movie, was actually them fighting each other. That I do believe. But also, there was also the characters who were also in it too, who came from the past. That was also good also. So it was, what you can say, was actually a really good action movie. There was actually two main characters who were fighting, which was
Right.
Godzilla and
Right.
King. I can't think of his name right at the moment.
Kidra
Yeah,
or something like
Kidra,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, King Kidra.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some reaction on Facebook about Godzilla and the last one. A lot of people didn't like the last Godzilla. It said it put him to sleep. Well, let me tell you, guys, this one is not going to put you to sleep.
Yeah, they definitely keep you on your toes on this one.
But I really enjoyed. We got to learn a little bit more about the storyline, about Godzilla's backstory in this one. In fact, we also got to see where his home was.
Yeah, which has never been shown in any of the 32 movies he's ever put out, except for this for the first time.
Right. So we got to hear and see a little bit of Godzilla's history, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed learning, more about the backstory and about how the Titans are really they're what balance us on this planet. And that message really did ring true. Yeah, we saw it in IMAX, and it was beautiful.
Oh, most definitely.
And again, I really enjoyed the action. There was just tremendous action with the monsters, and that, for me, made the entire movie. the battle back and forth. I liked how it had a little hints of stories within a story, like how Godzilla was they hinted that he had a relationship with the Mothra.
Yeah, Mothra.
Yeah, so that and then at the end, she came and tried to intervene and try to help him with Rodan, right?
Yeah, she actually did help him out too. Actually, bring him back from gave her power to him.
Right.
Like she has done in the past in some other movies that
she did?
Oh, yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And a lot of people probably don't know that. That's why I'm a Godzilla nut.
Yeah, so she came and she kind of saved the day, and then they kind of were hinting that the Rodan was the lover of that alien monster.
Kind of, yes.
That Kidra Kidra, yeah. So, who was really not from this planet. So they told a little bit of backstory of that monster. Then the big battle happens, and then it happens more. I mean, it just goes on and on and on for like, I would say, the last 20 minutes or so. It's just monsters fighting each other.
At least that's what it is, yes.
And it was just incredible. I have to say, it seemed a little long to me, but then it made up for it with the action. That last 30 minutes of the movie was just intense.
Oh, most definitely. It definitely was intense. Kept you on your toes, because you didn't know what was going to happen next.
It did. And Millie Bobby Brown, who's also the star plays Eleven in Stranger Things on Netflix, she did a wonderful job.
Oh, yes, she did.
So it was good to see a little bit of that family dynamic. So they had a little bit of history with the family, and Millie Bobby Brown's brother died in the last attack in San Francisco. So the mother kind of is blaming well, I don't know if she's blaming Godzilla. She kind of wanted them to rise and take over the planet and try to balance things.
That's true, because of overpopulation and all the smog and pollution and everything else we have.
Yeah, so she was trying to do that kind of like as a balancing act.
Right.
So.
But that went haywire, of course, as usual.
It did. So the action continues, and then eventually Millie Bobby Brown's character steals what do they call it? They call it the Oracle?
Oracle,
yeah. Okay, yeah. So what happened is the mother figure, her mother created this Oracle character, which can communicate with the monsters.
Yeah, he can make them mad, make them attack, make them sad, make them happy.
Right, and it kind of works like sonar works with like maybe some of the like whales or dolphins.
Right. Yes.
It kind of has that kind of premise. And welcome everybody back on Facebook Live. We see Adam joined us, Ken, Glenn, Chris. Hey everybody, we're talking about Godzilla King of Monsters. Yeah, you just Jeffrey, you said it. Yeah, the orca. Yeah,
orca, that's right. Yeah.
So. And that was interesting. That whole thing. And in the end, she steals the orca, and she tries to get them to be more peaceful. And then the alien Kidra or whatever. I don't know that alien's name. I probably should look it up. Comes back and tries to kill the little girl. So we got that whole dynamic. Yeah. But overall, let's go ahead and give it a rating. On AllForSciFi network podcast, we have a rating scale of 0 to 5 stars. 5 stars is the best you could get. I'm going to give Godzilla King of Monsters 4 stars.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4.5 because of all the good action. And if you're a Godzilla fan, you will see what I'm talking about when you go see it, because it's not going to put you. This one will not put you to sleep. Trust me on this one. It has maybe a little bit of a slow moment.
Right.
In between, but otherwise it picks right back up, and after that, it's just all action.
Well, we know he loves Godzilla. He's been talking about it for 2 weeks.
Got that right.
So anyway, I give it 4 stars out of 5. He gives it 4.5. Either way, 4 stars it would be considered go and see the movie. If it's a 3-star, that means you could go see it if you need something to do, but because it's good at 3 stars, but you could also wait for it to come out on Netflix. A 4 stars and above, that means we recommend you see it in the movie theater.
Yes, definitely an IMAX, because you don't want to miss the action.
IMAX would be perfect as well. Now we're going to go ahead and shift a little bit and talk about The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, which is coming out on Netflix on August 30th. Let's listen and watch the preview of The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance.
is at risk. The darkening corrupts everything it touches.
What is the darkening?
Behold.
I see many endings lay before us. Some good, most bad. What have the Skeksis done? Tell no one.
I think it was a great idea to bring back the Dark Crystal. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a glitch here. We're live on Facebook, and we have a little bit of glitches. So the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, which I just mentioned, is coming out August 30th on Netflix. What do you think about the Dark Crystal? Do you remember the original?
Yeah, I remember the original. I liked the original. It was actually really good. Also came out in a comic book series, too.
It did? Okay.
Yes, it did.
I didn't know that.
Came on a 2-volume set, which was not too bad back in the 80s. So
Okay, great.
Tells you the storyline of how the TV show actually got started, and unfortunately it ended.
I liked it. It was kind of, those creatures, some of them they still look pretty spooky to me, so.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I don't, can't wait to see, who they're going to have guest star on it. So it looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, it does.
And in other sci-fi news, Amazon Prime has a new sci-fi show that just premiered yesterday called Good Omens.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really good show.
Yeah, and it basically takes place, it's good versus evil, kind of in a war, heaven and hell is in a war. So look out for Good Omens on Amazon Prime. Captain Rickster, this week we got our first look at dun 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 the Terminator.
Oh yes.
I'll be back.
Yes, that was actually a good one.
Yeah, so we got our first look at the new Terminator, and you're used to hearing Arnold say, "I'll be back," but this time it's Sarah Connor.
That's right, she's back.
Yeah, Sarah Connor, come with me. No, so Sarah Connor is back. Linda Hamilton, boy, she looks good.
Oh, doesn't she ever?
Can you believe she's like, what is she, like 70 something, or late 60s, 70s?
She's got to be. Is at least that old.
She doesn't look like it, that's for sure.
And
so
she doesn't move like it either.
No, she doesn't. So be on the lookout for the trailer. It's online now. It's Terminator Dark Fate. And what appeals to me about this movie is it has James Cameron is back.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
The originator who started this series is producing again, so it's going to be great. It really looks good already. So the early footage that I've seen looks really great.
I wonder if this can be a last one, or they're going to do some more after this.
That show was they could do so many movies with Terminators. I mean, it just goes on forever. Like,
now, there's also a new expendable, what do they call it? Expendable, I think it was called.
Expendables, yes.
Yeah, number 4 is coming out here sometime either this year or next year.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's some new scoop. So, have any of you been to see the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
At Disneyland.
At Disneyland. It just opened, of course. Maybe not very many of you have been out there to see it, but a really good friend of mine, his name is Richard Wolowski, he went yesterday. So next week, Richard's going to come on our show, AllForSciFi. I've already asked him, and he said he's going to give us a sneak peek and come on AllForSciFi and talk about it. So.
Oh, cool.
So look for that next week. And Richard has a podcast called Skywalking Through Neverland. And that's a very good podcast as well, so you should check that out. Coming back to what I was talking about last week, but I have went ahead and officially released the cast and crew T-shirts from the Caravan of Courage Ewok movies. It's never been released before. It's on my Facebook page. It's on AllForSciFi Facebook page. Go to my website, ericwalkermusic.com. Go to the store. The shirt is free with a purchase. So it's a free gift I'm giving to everybody so that you could be a part of Star Wars history. So make sure you go to the website. Rick has seen the shirt. He loves it.
Yeah, really good.
It's the Ewoks, and one of them has like this machine gun. Another one has a sword. Another one has a bomb that they're gonna drop. and the Ewoks. It says in the corner, Ewoks, damn right, we're cute. So
that's definitely true.
And they are cute, even though they
and cuddly.
They helped destroy the Empire. So I've been friends with some Ewoks over the years, and they tell me that stormtroopers taste like chicken. So
yeah, that's what I heard.
But then the stormtroopers want to cook the Ewoks too.
And they taste like chicken too.
Yeah, so both of them taste like chicken, I guess, right?
That's right.
Just talking about Terminator: Dark Fate, and I accidentally played a little portion of the trailer. But let's go ahead and listen to Sarah Connor is back in Terminator Dark Fate. Here's the trailer.
2 days ago, I had this nice, simple life. And now it's a nightmare.
If travel is searching and home has been found, I'm not stopping.
Who are you?
My name is Sarah Connor. Never seen one like you before. Almost human.
I am human. Why do you care what happens to her?
Because I was her.
How do we win? We win by keeping you alive.
I'm going hunting.
That was Terminator Dark Fate. And boy, wow, that lot of action.
Oh, yes, there is. A lot of action in this one.
And we got Linda Hamilton back as Sarah Connor. Yeah, my Arnold Schwarzenegger impression needs some work.
A lot.
Okay, well, come on, give me a break.
We're trying to.
Okay. In all the movies, they kind of pay homage, and they have all these little, really kind of cool little, what do they call them, Easter eggs? Yeah, they put them in all the movies. And from what I understand, at the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, there are a lot of Indiana Jones Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So starting next week, we're going to have Richard Wolosky give us a special report about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, because Richard, who's from the podcast Skywalking Through Neverland, who's friends of mine, and I've been on his show quite a few times, he actually went to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge last night, so on opening day. So he was there last night. What we'd like to do is we'd like to start talking about Godzilla a little bit more.
Yeah, it's got a little more history on this poor guy. He's been around for a while. Let's put it that way. His first movie was in 1954. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. Then there was a little hiatus there for a couple of years before they made the next one in 1958.
Okay.
He was originally... Sorry, I need to take my glass off so I can see what I'm doing here.
Captain Rickster's going to give us a history of the Godzilla franchise and movies. Go ahead.
Yes, he's actually a Toho entity. I mean, they own all the rights and everything to him. Hollywood's made 3 movies so far. He's also in video games. He's also a novel. He's been in comic books and a TV show, a cartoon.
Okay.
Back in the 80s. Along with the comic books, Marvel put out the first comic book series.
Right.
Of him, did 1 through 23 in the 1980s.
Okay.
I would love to see Marvel put out another set again off the new movies he's been making, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Okay.
Originally, he was in a rubber suit. A guy was in it. It had a miniature set and there, and so they would put a guy in a rubber suit.
Mm-hmm.
And they had 3 different actors who actually, or 3 different characters who actually put the rubber suit on over the years, which is kind of interesting.
Do you know the name of the actors who were in the suits?
Not really, because I don't know Japanese all that good.
Okay,
So
but
hard names to pronounce.
But they were Japanese actors.
Japanese actors, and even Baby Godzilla was also mechanical. He was actually mechanical Godzilla, the very first robotic Godzilla they ever made.
Okay.
For him also in the when he I can't remember what movie it was in. I think it was in the 2000 movie that they actually showed Baby Godzilla.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. But until then, that was it.
Okay. So how many Godzilla movies have there been?
There's been 32 movies right now.
Uh-huh.
This number 33 is coming out so far.
Okay.
They're also originally he is a gray and white. His fins are white. He's actually a gray bodysuit.
Okay.
But if you look at the TV cartoons or even the comic books, he's green. which is kind of funny, but it's not really what his color is. He's actually gray and white.
Okay. Well, in this movie, he was kind of had gray color too, but his fins that were up on the middle down his spine would glow.
Blue.
Turn his blue color.
And
Yeah.
usually they glow red, not blue. In the earlier movies, he was always red. In the last 2 movies, two times they put him out, he's been in the blue fins this time, which is actually a lot better. I'd like to see that one better.
I like the blue color because blue's my favorite color anyway.
Mine too, also. Yeah. Do you know in 1954 he was 164 feet tall and weighed 22,000 tons?
Okay.
Now in 2019, he is 393 feet tall.
Yeah, he was much taller.
Yes, and he weighs 66,000 tons.
Wow.
So you want to talk about having an earthquake when you walk past you every time. That's why you see the ground shake, because he's so heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
With eating on whale meat.
He's the king, so he's eating on all kinds of stuff.
Well, see, he's actually a cross between a T-Rex, some type of a lizard, and then he's also a Sagittarius and part alligator. That's why he can swim beneath the water with his tail.
Right.
Because only alligators do that. They keep their hands and their feet together to the body, and they use the tail to move around all the time.
Mm-hmm. Does he breathe air, or can he breathe underwater?
He can breathe both. He can actually breathe water and air. So he's amphibious besides regular animal.
Okay.
Also, who can actually do that. So.
Yeah, because I know in the movie when they had shot that weapon that gets rid of oxygen.
Right.
It hit and he couldn't breathe, I guess.
That's true. And that's also true that no one doesn't really know he's got 3 brains.
3 brains?
Yes, he's got one in the head, one in the back, and he's got one in the tail.
That would make him very smart.
He was a very smart one. That's why if you ever notice, he's evolved over the years. You can see he went from a wild animal to a gentle animal that he is now today, trying to protect the world instead of trying to destroy it like it did when they first started him originally.
Right. Virginia is here. She says hi, Captain Rickster.
Well, hi, Virginia. How you doing?
Yeah. And Virginia just said online, and Godzilla, he says, and he is a half-snapping turtle.
Yeah, he is a little bit, but he doesn't snap anymore like he used to. Not when he first came out. He always eat the humans back then, but now he doesn't eat humans. He protects them.
Okay. Yeah, so we just finished watching Godzilla, and we saw it in IMAX. Godzilla King of Monsters, a 4-star rating. Captain Rickster is going to give it 4.5 stars, but let's say the official rating's 4, which means you need to go see the movie in the theater. We recommend IMAX. Captain Rickster recommends IMAX as well.
Most definitely.
And you really should see it there because there is just a lot of special effects in the movie. There's a lot of fighting going on. It's not snore time. You're not going to walk out of the theater. It's not going to put you to sleep. It's definitely worth every penny. You could really tell on the screen that they put a lot of money into special effects because, as I had mentioned earlier, I was really taken back and I was really surprised at how much action is in this movie. These monsters, at one point, there's 4 different monsters fighting at the same time.
That's right.
There's Godzilla fighting with that other king, Kedra, the one that's not really from Earth. They're fighting, and then his sort of fling on the side, which they sort of said was his fling, which was something new I hadn't heard before. Mothra ends up coming and dies and ends up giving her life to Godzilla. But before that, Rodan comes and tries to fight, jumps in a fight too. So at one point you got 4 monsters all fighting at the same time, and it's just amazing how much action and how much special effects they put on the screen, and it looked good.
Oh yeah, especially when Boston got destroyed. That was even better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Godzilla is now a good guy.
very, very much good. He protected everybody this time.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you a spoiler, but will be a Godzilla 3.
Okay.
I don't know when it's coming yet, but probably in the near future there will be a number 3. They show you at the end of the movie little tidbits of what's going to happen on number 3. But
what do you think is going to happen in the next Godzilla? What do you think? What do you predict?
I think he's going to fight King Kong again. He did it before originally, and they never actually won who was the best person. They were just always, they separated from their ways, and he went one way and Godzilla went the other way.
I did not know until I saw that and you mentioned that to me. I did not know that King Kong was part of that same universe.
He is. He actually is, because even they mentioned it in the movie itself about Skull Island.
No, I saw that, and I was surprised. I like I said, I did not know that they were part of the same universe, and your prediction surprised me, but I could totally see it. I could see that being that case.
I can too this time also, because the match was never ever finished. They never who was the winner. They went off in a match with tied. They never finished it, so we'll see what happens on this next one.
For sure.
And remember, in this movie too, there's 17 different monsters, but you don't see all 17 of them. You'll see a few of them, but you won't see all 17 of them. That they do mention 17 different and counting on different titans there are in this.
We did get to see quite a few of the other monsters. They mentioned 17. They didn't. I don't think they showed 17.
No, they didn't.
But they did show a lot of them, and some of them were pretty interesting. One of them was like this old historic mammoth character, like elephant. Another one was this huge spider.
Yeah, but they also had one from the last movie too. I don't know what type monster it was, but they had one that just looked exactly like it.
Right.
And then you had a couple other ones we really didn't see because they're in the background.
Yeah.
Kind of like it, because they moved him from that. They moved him all the way up to see what he looked like from his face and so.
Right.
So you didn't really see what a lot of the monsters were doing, but you did see that they were there, wreaking havoc over the world and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's true. Virginia is asking what we think of the new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids reboot.
That should be a good movie. I'm pretty sure it would be. I don't know if the same characters are all going to be in it, but it would be interesting to go see.
Well, here's a little bit of trivia out there since you brought this up, Virginia. The original Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was produced by the same guy who produced the Ewok movies. His name is Thomas Smith.
Oh, cool.
So the original producer of Caravan of Courage and the Ewok movie. And Thomas Smith, before that, he was the head of ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. So there's a little bit of a trivia. And he produced the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and the person who directed, which I was trying to allude to, the person who directed, I believe it was Joe Johnston that directed it.
I think so too.
And Joe Johnston was there when we made the Ewok movies. He was a second unit director on Ewoks: A Battle for Endor. So technically, most of the second Ewok movie was directed by Joe Johnston.
Oh, cool.
And he later did the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He did the Rocketeer.
That's right.
He did the first Captain America movie.
Which
that came
one?
out. The very first one that came out.
1980?
No, it was here recently when Marvel was doing it. What was the first Captain? I don't know. Was it Winter Soldier or something?
No, that was the second one. Actually, the first one was called Captain America.
Was it? Okay.
The Winter Soldier was after that.
Okay,
then it became the Avengers.
Okay, so he directed the first one when it came back. He also, people give him a lot of flack for it, but he directed the Jurassic Park 3.
Right, yeah.
And
a little history there. The first Captain America ever came out was in the 1940s. It was a movie also, black and white.
Yeah, that's true. Did they make the Ewok movies canon yet? They have not made it canon, but in my book, they are. To me, the Ewok movies are definitely legacy characters. I don't consider them, legends characters. To me, they should be canon because they were produced by Lucasfilm Limited. It's not like they were a part of the expanded universe.
Right.
George Lucas made these movies. It's his storyline. So for anybody to say the Ewok movies are not canon, then you're saying George Lucas is not canon.
That's true.
How can George Lucas, the father of Star Wars, not be canon? Think about it for a minute.
Definitely think about it.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up, but Derek, in my heart, the Ewok movies are canon. So, and they're legacy characters for sure. We'll see what happens here in the future with that stuff. There's a lot of rumors going on about the Ewoks, and I don't know if any of them are true, if they're going to come up on the Disney Plus service or not, but maybe if everybody writes about it enough and gives enough suggestions, maybe they'll do an Ewok series on Disney Plus. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Now, out of the 32 movies that's already been made, there's only one that's not in DVD. It's still in VHS.
Wow.
So you need to write to Toho to tell them to get that one out of VHS into either Blu-ray or regular DVD so we can actually watch it out of all those movies. So it's one in the 80s. I know that much. It's actually a really good movie. I saw it when I was a kid growing up.
Okay.
That's why I'm such a Godzilla nut.
Yeah.
Godzilla also came out. The very first models that ever came out about Godzilla was from Aurora back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I had those when I was a kid. You had the original, or you had the glow in the dark one. I love the glow in the dark because that was actually pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Yes, it was. They do make reprints of the original. I don't know if you can still find them online. They're not all that expensive anymore. The original model for Godzilla from out of Aurora goes about $900 to $1,000.
Wow.
It's one of the rarest ones ever made. And everybody built them. That was the only reason why it was so popular. Unfortunately, the business, they went out of business. It's like anything else in this world.
Yeah. Virginia just said it would be awesome if Mace was in Godzilla.
Oh, that would be cool too. I would love to see Mace with Godzilla.
Mace can't be in everything, Virginia. Mace is part of the Ewok stuff. So, but thank you for the thought.
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, so we're just telling everybody, go out and see Godzilla King of Monsters. Look for my review I'm going to post my review tomorrow night as well. Our official website, for any of you out there listening, is AllForSciFi.com. So it's just spell all for FORSCIFI. So it's AllForSciFi.com.
Right. If there's any questions, I'll answer them next week too. If you have any more questions, you want to write in about them at this time. If not,
yeah, definitely. If anybody ever has any suggestions for future shows or recommendations or any kind of questions you want to ask myself or Captain Rickster, we do have an email website, allforscifi.com. There's a contact form there to send us messages. You could also go to our official Facebook page, which is facebook.com/all4sci-fi, and spell out the whole word all for and then sci-fi, and the no dashes. I know they like to do that, but they don't do that on the internet, so just all for sci-fi. So you could catch us there on our Facebook, send us messages there. You could go to our website, but go to the website as much as you want because we post content to the website all the time. So it's all kinds of news that's being released. We have everything on there for you guys, all the latest stuff coming up. On today's show, we talked at the beginning about the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. The premiere was the night before. It actually opened yesterday, was opening day. On Friday, May 31st was opening day, but the night before, they had the premiere, so to speak. I guess you'd call it a premiere. and they had Bob Iger, the head of Disney, came out, and he introduced Billy D. Williams, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and the father of Star Wars,
George Lucas.
George Lucas came on stage, made a rare appearance. So that video, I believe, is online as well. So, and of course, the heartfelt moment that Harrison Ford and tribute he gave to Peter Mayhew. And I apologize for breaking up earlier. I get emotional when I think about Peter. So
yeah, he was really nice, real nice person.
Good guy.
I met him in person. He was really good.
So, but God bless you, Peter. And that was really great what Harrison Ford did. This one's for you. So, and then we went on to talk about other sci-fi news as well. So for some of you that missed it, we talked about the Dark Crystal. Captain Rickster was talking about how after a 32-year break?
32-year break.
Star Wars. Yeah, after 32 years, Marvel Comics is bringing the original Star Wars comics back. So that's going to be exciting.
It's going to be really good.
And they're gonna start off right where the series ended at number 107 in '86, so it'll probably be number 108.
Yeah.
So that's great. From then on, we also talked about the Shrek movie coming out. We talked about Terminator and all the great stuff that's coming out. A Good Omen on Amazon Prime. But next week too, we have Richard Woloski doing a special report about Galaxy's Edge. What's coming up movie-wise? We have.
We've got,
what was it? The Dark Phoenix is coming up next.
We've also got Spider-Man coming in July.
Men in Black International.
Men in Black International is coming out also.
Yes. So it's really a great year. Isn't 2019 the most awesome year for sci-fi movies?
Oh, this summer is going to be awesome for sci-fi.
This whole year has been great because it's going to end at the end of the year with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
That's right.
I mean, you can't beat that. So this has really been a fantastic year, and I want to thank everybody out there on Facebook who's joined us live. We're going to go ahead and call it a day. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week at 2 o'clock again in the afternoon to tape Sunday's show. If you have any suggestions, please go ahead and put comments on this video or go to our website, AllForSciFi.com. I'm your host, Eric Walker.
And I'm Captain Rickster.
Have a great and blessed weekend, everybody. God bless. All the music on today's episode was composed and written by Eric Walker. To learn more about Eric's music, please visit ericwalkermusic.com.